Never find my way home, yeah.
Welcome to What Happened to the World today. I'm Steven.
And I'm Scott, and this is a tale of how bad life decisions led to a YouTube show.
We're going to talk about what we've noticed is going on in the world today. So, in a previous show, we talked about Scott and him learning a new word, evulsion, and no fingerprint. So, you said you were going to the doctor. What's the update on the doctor?
That is correct. I went to the doctor, and she looked at it and cleaned it up and says it looks like it's going to heal fairly well. And lo and behold, she's correct. This side you can almost see is completely healed.
That's good.
This side here, the skin is almost completely closed. The hole is now about the size of a pencil eraser.
Wow. And that's where you can see all the way down through to the bone.
That is correct.
So, my wife actually said she would like to see the pictures.
Okay. I'll send them to you.
So, you're not going to post them?
No.
Again, I'm offering anybody, if you'd like to comment on the bottom, we're more than happy to show them. If you comment, I'll put them up there, or I'll ask Scott to put them up there.
I've had some of my employees say, "Oh, let me see," and if it's don't show me that, I'll pass out.
That's awesome.
Of course, one of my employees happens to be ex-fireman, and his daughter's an EMT, his wife is an EMT, so they've seen pretty much everything.
Well, yeah, you get kind of used to it, but still,
Yes.
It's always interesting to see what other not so smart people do when they're doing woodworking.
Yes.
I can't believe you thought. I finally figured out what a chop saw is. Okay, I'm trying to think. It's also called a miter saw.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Well, you said you called it a chop saw. You never said miter saw.
Oh, okay.
And I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, yeah, the blade's spinning. It's going to suck it right back, or suck it out of your hand. So I was like, sucked it out of your hand. Fortunately, did not draw your hand into the blade, though.
Correct. It actually got stuck to the blade. I'll post those pictures because you can see the wood still stuck to the blade.
Really?
And of course, the fat pad of my finger still stuck to the wood.
That's awesome. Not really, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, as you can tell, my cold is still hanging on.
It is amazing.
Over the last few shows, you could hear me breathing. I mean, I've always had problems with allergies, but I'm just like, I'm like.
Well, what I don't understand is forever and ever and ever, people would go to Nevada and Colorado and stuff like that when they had TB and stuff because the air's so dry there. It's supposed to be beautiful for colds.
I don't believe in global warming, but I do believe in climate change.
Yes.
Climate change is happening all the time. We had ice ages. That definitely wasn't a global warming situation, but there's climate change. We have a monsoon every 5 years, and this has been one of the worst monsoons since I've lived here, where the humidity has been really high. On my other channel, What Happened to Las Vegas Today, I did a few golf outings, and I was hurt afterwards. I actually dehydrated myself during one of them because it was so humid out, and I was drinking, but I didn't drink enough, and I dehydrated myself because of the humidity, because I sweated it out. I mean, I'm used to drinking and not drying out, but yeah, it was bad.
You know it's good when you see people cutting their grass in the summer in Vegas.
Yes, and that's not good because we shouldn't be growing grass in Vegas. It should be rocks. And then I wanted to update everybody on my dad's house. We talked about my buddy Bob, who is on the east coast of Florida. However, my father is in Naples on the west coast of Florida. So the east coast had the worst winds because of the way the hurricane spins, and the winds were bad there. So that knocked over a lot of trees. However, in my dad's subdevelopment, there's about 500 houses. Of the 500 houses, right now, he says about 250 of them are total losses. So 250 of them they're going to have to rebuild them if they want to use them. Of the other 250, they're not sure if people are going to want to rebuild them or have the money to rebuild them or what's going to happen there. He was lucky. His row of houses only had the back of the house got ripped off. Not the wood, but the whole siding got ripped out and the rear windows got blown out. So the whole back of the house needs to be rebuilt. Structurally, it's there, it's okay, but the back of the house is gone. The siding is gone, the windows are gone. Had a guy out there with a generator nailing up the boards on the windows because there's still no power in his
Right.
in his
It's
neighborhood.
amazing, isn't it?
So yeah, and another thing, like Puerto Rico, which just got hit, has no power. They're talking about Puerto Rico not having power for 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh, your phone's ringing.
Yes, it is.
That's good. Is that business coming in?
No, it's the person I called 45 minutes ago and just not getting back to me.
We got to remember to fix that for next time.
Yes.
And then the best thing that's happening right now, so by the time this goes up on Thursday, the heat wave should be ending. So the heat wave should be ending. It should be, because it's been cold here. So
okay. Now, here's what I know. On Tuesday, at some time in the late afternoon, early evening, the front's supposed to come through our area. We have been in the mid-90s and humid for the past week. We're breaking records like absolutely crazy. It was so hot today, I was in my swimming pool, and I'm never in my swimming pool in September. Normally, I have it drained already. So we were in the swimming pool. The water temperature in the pool was 81 degrees. That's the same temperature as the ocean in the Caribbean.
Okay, just so you know, it was 76 in Vegas.
Amazing, isn't it? So, it's completely backwards.
Yeah, and it was cold today, so pretty nice. But yeah, so again, there's your global warming. It definitely, the climate is changing. Things are moving later, but it's in cycles. It's just crazy. So who knows what's going on or what's happening?
The shadow knows.
The shadow knows. Now we're just showing how old we are.
I know.
Because everybody who's on YouTube has no idea what radio shows are, and The Shadow was an old radio show. So everybody on YouTube next show, click.
Yeah.
So now
look it up quick.
So now I'm going to upset Scott.
I don't want to be upset.
We were talking about new shows. We were talking about the Orville. The Orville is the Star Trek of this generation. It's with why can't I think of the guy who
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, he does American Dad and Family Guy and all that. And the show is actually good. I actually like it.
It's definitely funny.
My favorite part was they say the things you want them to say. There was a bad guy in the last episode. He goes, "Well, you're just being a dick."
Yeah.
I was like, that's
really. They got that on the air.
That's perfect. Yeah. Well, a lot of things you can say now, but yes. Star Trek Discovery came out on CBS this weekend, and it is the first Star Trek TV series to be on TV in 12 years. And I didn't realize it was so long between, because there was Next Generation and I don't know, it was
Voyager.
After Next Voyager. But yeah, it's been 12 years since that. So
no, because then there was Enterprise too.
But they're saying it's still 12 years.
Yeah, it's a long time, man.
On the company's regular broadcast network. Okay, so let's there's probably the catcher. They're saying it's 12 years on a regularly broadcast network. But here's the catcher. Here's the catch. The next episode is available after the first episode airs, but it's on All Access.
What the heck is All Access?
So All Access is where you have to pay to watch the rest of the season. So CBS All Access is a subscription series where you have to pay a monthly subscription to watch the show. So show 2, if you want to pay, you can see it. And then week 3, as like episode 3 goes on October 1st, and they're all exclusively on All Access.
I don't understand that. I'm already paying a fortune for cable.
So, well, unfortunately, that's not the way TVs or shows are working anymore. There are shows exclusively for Netflix now. So if you want to watch like Fuller House, you have to watch that on Netflix. I can't think of, there's a few exclusives on Amazon for Amazon.com. I don't have Roku but now you're going to have to pay $10 to this guy, $6 to this guy, $4 to that guy, and subscribe to all the channels. And I think the satellite companies are actually hurting right now, from what I understand, because of all these online streaming channels. But you're paying for each one individually. So
that makes me very unhappy.
So don't get hooked on the show. If you saw episode 1 and you liked it, and you have all access, you can pay and watch it. However, I'm not going to be paying for it, so I don't care how good the show is or how exciting it was. I'll be watching the Orville for free, or on regular broadcast TV, which, if you have an antenna, and that's the other thing everybody forgot too. All the channels, all your basic channels, CBS, ABC, NBC, public access, they're still being broadcast for free.
Yep.
It's just a digital signal now. They canceled the analog signal, and it's a digital signal. And they gave away all those free converter boxes that everybody had, the converter boxes. But, now you can just go get an antenna, and it's kind of funny. TV for free. For $12, you can have TV for free. It's free anyways. It's just an antenna. It's the old rabbit ears. Now, let's talk old. That's where you had to have the 2 pieces of wire stuck with the coat hanger, and then you had to have the aluminum foil running up towards the drapes, and then you'd have to stand there and hold it so you tune it in, because analog would do that. Digital won't do that.
When I first moved up here to Wisconsin, we lived on a farm, and the antenna was on a giant pole. And of course, on windy days, it would shift the antenna. So we'd have to climb up the pole and move the antenna. Or if we wanted to see a show from Rockford, or a show from Madison, or a show from Chicago, we had to climb. We had to climb up the pole and move the antenna to see the shows from the other states.
So did you have to climb up another pole and make a phone call, like Green Acres?
It wasn't that bad. Like, yeah, that would have been hilarious.
Were your bathrooms outside?
No. It was an old farmhouse. It was built in the 1800s, but it did have indoor plumbing.
My family had a farm in Michigan, which is the opposite side of Lake Michigan from where Scott is at. And we went up there every summer. And it was a lot of fun, except for the fact that we were the cousins that came up, and we got to do all the fun work.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it wasn't fun work. It was, they did all the fun work, and I got to muck the stalls, which means I had to shovel the poop out of the stalls.
Yeah.
I had to scrape the boats. They had rented boats for fishing, so I had to scrape all the boats down. Had to clean all that.
Did they try to get you to milk the bull?
No, I wasn't that ignorant, fortunately.
Yeah.
However, I couldn't get the eggs. They wouldn't let me get the eggs. The easy job.
My wife's friends tried to get me to milk a bull, and I'm like, dude, I know the difference between a bull and a cow. I don't care if I'm originally from the suburbs of Chicago.
Did you ever detassel corn?
No.
Okay.
Susie did, but not I.
Yeah, so laying on an outrigger, laying down with gloves on, grabbing the little stalks on the top of the corn where the seeds come out, and grabbing it and ripping it off, that's how you detassel corn.
That's correct.
That sucks.
Well, you just have to have a good imagination. Pretend you're Superman flying through the cornrows.
Yeah, no. But I could never get the eggs from the chickens. That was that was their job when I was there.
Of course it was.
Because I would scare the chickens.
That's right. Well, you smell funny.
Yeah. Didn't know how to handle the chicken. I'm like, can I get the eggs? No, you go shovel the poo.
Yeah.
But we had an outhouse, and there was not indoor plumbing. So I loved going up for the summer. No.
I was going to say, it sounds very sarcastic.
It was fun.
It was just driven, yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. It was
experience.
fun to visit family, but yeah,
because we did a lot of that stuff when we were in Scouts. We were taught that stuff, even though it was already obsolete back then.
Yeah.
We were taught it because if you don't understand what your ancestors went through to get to where we are today, you can't appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate it. They work so hard, it's not even funny.
Yep.
Not even funny. So, well, that's it for our episode. We kind of cranked through that pretty fast, didn't we?
Incredible.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for watching.
Oh, yeah. If you feel If you feel that our show is not a bad life decision,
because we're making all the bad life decisions, so you don't have to, then please subscribe, like, and watch our other videos and channels. I figured out, I should know this from Sage, that we need to point left to point right on the screen. Yes. Right? Because it's facing us. So if you're on the computer screen, the other channels that we have are on the right-hand side, right? Or I think on mobile they might be below. I'm not sure. But I do know that that's where What Happened to Las Vegas Today and Scott Thomas are. So thank you again, and we will see you on our next episode.
Have a good one.
Crazy, and you still amaze me.